What's up?
Hey guys!
We finally made it on live. This one's back from the dead.
I'm like slowly coming back. It's been literally, a week now?
A week.
Exactly a week since we've been back from Vegas. We got back
Wednesday.
this time last week.
Yeah.
And I'm finally just starting to feel a little bit like myself.
You sound like yourself.
I'm coming back, but sorry we had to keep postponing this talk. I just literally couldn't get out of bed, and I've had to work like a dog since I've been back. Vegas almost killed us.
It was her first time, so.
It was my first time to Vegas.
Yeah.
And I wasn't feeling good just leading up to it, and I think I had stressed myself out a little bit about our talk and the whole thing, and then just being there and being up late and partying and just all this
stuff. We were
stuff.
up till 4:30 every morning.
Not 4:30. Late, yeah. I mean late.
Pretty much.
And I think my immune system just decided to shut down on me. So Vegas was a bitch.
Yeah.
But in a good way. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah. And so, I mean, that's what, we gave a minimalism talk during a round table there. And so we wanted to bring that talk.
Laura.
Hey, Laura. We wanted to bring that talk to you guys because we said we would. So here it is. One other thing that we would like to say is, it's absolutely incredible. We just reached 1,000 members, and this group is yesterday. It's only been up for how long?
Less than 2 months.
Less than 2 months. You guys are absolutely amazing. We were sitting here just freaking out, and then somebody, God, who was that? Somebody messaged me. Sarah messaged me and was like, "Oh my God, you guys just hit 1,000," and I was like, "Dude, that's awesome."
We didn't even realize.
Yeah,
and we just want to say welcome to all of the new members as well, and we're so grateful to have everybody here. And again, our intention is just to create a supportive community for travelers to come into with no recruiters allowed. I know a lot of groups allow recruiters, and I think that's great in so many ways. Laura has an amazing group, and I know that she teaches on recruiting and allows recruiters into the group to learn from one another, and that's amazing. But we wanted to create something that was just a safe place for travelers where we can share everything we've learned on the road and connect with you guys and just have this kind of cool place to learn from each other. And so and it kind of just happened on a whim. We were just one day in Whistler, so many people were asking us to do a training on traveling because we've been doing it for so long, and people kept asking us questions about it. So we're like, okay, why not? And we did the group, and it just blew up, and we were planning on closing it, and it all just kind of happened really organically and beautifully, and so here we are.
It was people that weren't even in healthcare were asking us all these questions on how we do things, so I was like, man, maybe we should start a group. But anyway, if you are new to the group, there is a video section. A lot of people have been saying that they've had trouble finding it on their cell phones. A lot of times it's in albums. A lot of times I've seen maybe you have to update your Facebook, actually update it, the whole app, and it's somewhere. There's videos in the videos. We've done 6 trainings now.
Yeah, we've
6
done quite
trainings.
a few.
There's files in the file section that are resources that you guys can go to and use. And then you can reach out to us and ask us any questions that you have. We are readily available. We are always in this group.
Yes.
And looking at comments and answering as much as we can, and here for you guys 150,000%.
Totally. And we have some cool trainings that we're going to be doing coming up in the next couple of weeks. We sat down and kind of brainstormed some ideas. So I think next week we're going to do a training on interviewing.
Interviews.
Your first interview, and how to kind of
I've been wanting to do that for a very long time.
Yeah. Well, he's the interview king because he used to interview people. He used to interview travelers. So he kind of has the both sides of the fence as far as being a traveler and interviewing, and with a company, and also
being a traveler,
being a company and interviewing a traveler. So it's kind of a unique perspective. Yeah. And so we're going to do that, and we'll post a thread so you guys can ask any questions that you have with that.
Absolutely.
I think that was kind of all the house cleaning stuff.
House cleaning.
And Diana, I just want to say that's amazing. We love Mason, so just let us know if you have any questions.
Well, that's awesome.
And I hope that you have a really great experience.
Yeah.
We've had a good experience with him so far, so...
Let me know, because I'll track him down.
We'll hunt him down and... No, he's actually really awesome. He's like a gentle little lamb. So, let us know how your experience goes. This is such a weird angle.
I know it is, isn't it? Oh, anytime. That's awesome. Thank you.
What does it say?
I know, it's a lot.
It's hard to read these.
It is, and it looks funny when you're in the.
Oh yeah, so that's amazing. So okay, we just wanted to share with you guys kind of our talk that we did in Vegas, and we're just gonna share some parts with you guys, and it's about minimalism and living a simple life and living a free life, and we connected with a lot of people when we shared this, and people were like, wow, this is such a cool way to think about things, and it inspired a lot of people. So we thought, let's share it. I think it's a really beautiful way of living. And
yeah, well, I love it too, because honestly, we've been coming at you with a lot of trainings, and there's like a lot of like, do this, do that, like don't do this, do that. This is just kind of like our story with lessons involved, and so it's a lot more fun. Not that those trainings aren't that fun, but this is what we love. This is just kind of like us sharing, and hopefully you get something out of this and learn something out of this. Take what you want, leave what you don't. And we'll just get right into it.
Yeah, totally. Just a different perspective, especially for newer travelers starting their journey. Just kind of a cool way to think about entering into this new adventure. So
yeah, and I like to lean forward when I talk, so I'm gonna actually.
I know this is not like the best angle, but
adjust there.
It's okay. We're just working with what we have.
Now I can come at you. Yeah, we've been using a tripod, but I don't really like that with the phone. It's kind of weird. So, anywho, so are we going?
Let's do it. Let's go into it, guys.
Scene.
And let us know any questions that you have, and of course, we will answer. And
Absolutely.
For all of our replayers, we know a lot of people come back and rewatch it. So ask any questions, and we're here to hang with y'all. So
your breath smells like vinegar.
I know. I'm drinking apple cider vinegar water because it's like a magic potion, and I think it cures and heals everything. It's seriously magic, but it's really potent.
It smells like dirty socks. It's awesome.
Socks? What?
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, minimalism talk. Take one. Scene.
Oh my god, I was so nervous. When we did this in Vegas, it was our first time public speaking, and we were like so freaking nervous.
She was.
You were too. You were like shaking like a leaf.
My voice was trembling.
But once we got into it, we ended up having so much fun. But we were so nervous.
They were like, go.
I'm
we were like,
flashbacks. Yeah, they're like, okay, time to like let's start. And we were like, hi guys.
All right. So anyway.
All right, here we go.
So Kim had to take notes.
Well, I have such brain fog, so I'm gonna
Okay.
do the best that I can and
So
share
anyway,
it from my heart.
In 2012, we actually started our healthcare journey. That's when we actually what?
No.
What?
Nothing. Go.
Was I talking too fast?
You're funny.
Or announcer voice?
Announcer voice.
Okay.
It's okay. Sorry.
So, all right, no more announcer voice. Take two. Scene. Anyway, in 2012 was when we actually started traveling. And that was the best decision that we had ever made. But honestly, our lives before that looked totally different compared to how they look now. And, we ended up, right when we graduated school, we ended up kind of doing that whole chasing the American dream, what society defines as success. And, that looked to us like we had awesome cars, beautiful cars. What?
I had a Jetta, but it was beautiful.
It was
a very expensive Jetta. That's another story for another.
It's another story. We had nice house, beautiful house, 4-bedroom house on the beach, or near the beach. Filled it with beautiful things. It was like amazing, and we wanted that kind of house that people would be like, oh my God, this place is great, and we wanted to entertain and we wanted to do all these things. But what we had realized was we didn't even have the time to do that stuff. It actually strapped us so financially that I was 24, 25, 26 working. I only had 4 days off a month, and I was required to do that because of how much we had financially strapped ourselves to put things in our life. And those things actually held us back from what we truly, truly wanted. And I just remember when we actually, found traveling, it like checked every box that we ever wanted. It allowed us to reset exactly the life that we had already created and just kind of get rid of it. So in order to live this amazing life that we knew we wanted to live, we had to sell everything. And so technically we became minimalist by default. We had no idea what minimalism actually was. I actually, to be dead honest with you, thought that minimalism was naturalist. So I thought minimalism like didn't, people, they didn't shower, they didn't have like personal hygiene products. They didn't,
they like lived in
a tent or a cave or like off the grid. So I was kind of like, no, that's not at all what we're doing. We just sold everything because that's what we needed to do to travel, to live the life that we really wanted to live.
Well, what did we really want to live? I mean,
yeah, go ahead.
No, because it's like we had strapped ourselves so thin financially. It's like at the end of the month when all of our bills were paid to like support everything we had bought and this lifestyle we created. Like we couldn't even afford a freaking pizza, and we love freaking pizza, and we couldn't even afford it. We couldn't take time off work.
That was kind of our rock bottom. Was one of our many rock bottoms was we ordered a pizza and actually overdrew the account, and then the overdraft fee was more than the actual pizza itself. And that was kind of when we looked at each other and we were like, what are we really doing? Like, what are we doing? Like, we work so much, but yet can't afford a pizza?
Yeah.
Because we have all these, these things that now we're trapped.
Can't afford.
Like, we couldn't take time off. We couldn't go on trips. And we knew that we wanted to travel. We wanted to, have freedom.
Explore other passions.
Like, I didn't even know what my passions were at the time. I had no idea. If somebody would ask me, like, I don't know, I play softball and it's pretty much it, but I never knew like what drove me because I was so consumed with bringing things in and then having to work to pay for these things.
Yeah.
And so that's when traveling came in, like I said, checked all the boxes, we hit the reset button, sold everything.
Literally sold everything. Except we do still have a storage unit.
We had a storage unit because we weren't sure. So I do have like a hammock in there for like, I was like, my sister might want it, or
like a rackety old TV.
Honestly, it's like all that stuff can go.
It's been on our list for years to actually go back to Florida and clean out the storage unit because there's nothing in it that's valuable, but we just haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
But we got rid of pretty much everything except this little storage unit.
Yes. So back on topic. But it wasn't until 2016 actually, last year. I was working at Harborview in Seattle, and I was talking to one of the physicians, and one of the physicians we were talking about our story and kind of like going back and forth, and he actually said, "Oh my God, you guys are minimalists," and I was like, "No, dude, I showered today. Like, I'm definitely not a minimalist." He was like, "No, like, you guys live very simply, like all this kind of stuff." He was like talking about this. He was like, "Man, you guys are so inspiring. I'm gonna go home and like reevaluate my stuff. Like, how freeing does that feel?" And I was like, you're right. Like, it feels really free. And so when he said the word minimalist, Kim and I actually started looking at it. And there's this huge movement going on. Like, minimalism is like the cool thing now. There's like the minimalist.com. And they're amazing too, by the way. We just found them.
Yeah.
And there's all this stuff going on. And we had been doing this since 2012. So technically, you're speaking to like
we were like pioneers
of minimalism. And we had no idea we were even doing it. But it has been absolutely amazing. It has opened doors that we never knew existed. Living simply has just been the best choice as compared to, filling our life with things that don't really technically matter when you get down to it.
Yeah.
And it's just been a blessing, and it was all just kind of...
It happened so organically
that we can actually say, yeah, we're minimalists.
Right. And that was never our intention. Like, we realized...
And we can still shower.
And we can still shower. Yeah. We realized like we're kind of like the cool kids that are like living this minimal lifestyle, and we had no idea, and it was really cool. And I think a lot of people, when they think of minimalism, one of the biggest misconceptions is they think of never being able to consume anything. And consuming is really just about bringing anything into your life. We think of consuming as like buying things, but it's bringing anything into your life that's going to take up space in some capacity, right? And so we're consumers still. Mm-hmm. We still add things into our life, but we consume far less than we did 5 years ago.
Yeah.
When we were, filling our life with all of this crap. We consume far less, but it's not about never consuming anything, but it's about consciously consuming and really being intentional with what you're choosing to bring into your life, what you're choosing to add into your life. So before you make the decision to add anything in, and this can be physical things, emotional things, like mental, like spiritual, anything that you're choosing to add in, asking yourself the question, is this really adding value to my life? Is this truly serving a purpose? Like, why do I want this? What is this going to bring into my life? And making the decision to bring something in based off the answers. And that's kind of what we did for, like, so we have a drone. And Aaron's like baby. We have 2 babies. Mimi LaRue, who is sleeping on the couch over there because she's been naughty all day. Yeah. And Stella Gibson, who is our drone, that Erran, it's his baby. And it was a really, really big purchase. And so before we decided to buy it and add this into our life, it was a big deal at the time. We were like, okay, like, is this really going to add value into our life? And we were like, absolutely. It absolutely is, because we love to travel. We love to have these incredible adventures. And we started a YouTube channel to share, to make really cool videos and to share them with our friends and our family and for people to see what we're up to. And so the drone allows to get really cool footage that we would normally never be able to get, right? Like, it can like fly out into the ocean and go over mountains and like do all this crazy shit that we would never have access to. And so we were like, it's absolutely going to add value. It's serving a purpose because this is one of our passions. It's a hobby of ours. It's something we truly enjoy. And so this would just add so much more to that experience. And so we were like, hell yeah, like, let's buy the drone. It felt good. We were able to be like, yes, this is adding a lot of value. And it still is, and it's something we'll have forever. And we're going to be traveling forever and having these cool experiences. And we're always going to have the drone. And so the answer was yes, right? Yep. And so it's kind of like going through that and asking yourself these questions before you're just mindlessly, like, you know, we have this this culture of instant gratification. We're just like, oh, this sounds good, I want this, or I'm bored, let me buy an outfit online, or let's get this. And it's like actually taking a step back and being mindful and thoughtful of what you're just grabbing and throwing into your life.
Well, I mean, it is a minimalist drone, though.
It is.
I mean, it fits into the palm of my hand, it folds up, and then it goes into a backpack, and then I bought a special backpack that now consolidates all of our multimedia equipment, so it just fits into one backpack. It's not scattered around.
Yeah.
And you don't even know I have the drone. So technically,
it's a minimalist drone.
It's a minimalist drone.
Which I absolutely love, because I freak out and like love organization and like what am I trying like structure, and like everything has its own place. And so I'm like, yes, this backpack is like all of our cameras are in there and it's like perfect. And Stella's got her little home and it's cozy.
It's a good example just because it is such a major purchase and it is something that, you know, you don't really need in your life. It's not something that everybody's going to have. And so just a good example of bringing something huge into your life that costs a lot of money and that is kind of a toy. That, do you really need this? And those questions really added up to help us take a step back to really evaluate what we were doing and why we were doing it.
And not just mindlessly.
Like, we have a YouTube channel, so we have to have a drone. It was just more or less, you know, we love the creativity. I love, you know, sitting down and editing. And that was kind of something that was a hobby of mine, and I love it. And so the drone allowed these kind of things. And so that's why we brought that to you guys.
Yeah. It's just kind of a great way to think about it. And, you know, so minimalism isn't really about never consuming or living without, in a sense, or even living out of a couple of suitcases like what we decided to do. But it's about really getting clear of what you want and aligning your life and living in a way that feels really good to you, and living in a way that supports your values and your dreams and your desires and what's important to you and how you want to be showing up and living this life, right? And asking yourself the question, is this life that I'm currently living, this life that I've created for myself, actually how I want to be living? And it's a really simple question, right? But there's so much power in that. There's so many answers hidden within that. If you just take a moment to step back and like ask yourself and really be mindful of what's coming up for you. And for us, we asked ourselves that question in 2012, and the answer was hell no. We were living in the exact opposite way of how we truly wanted to be living. complete contrast. And so for us, the answer was, in order for us to realign and really step into this life that we truly wanted and desired in our heart, the answer was to get rid of everything so that we could have more financial freedom, and we could have more freedom to travel and to get up and go and to do the things, have more time off work so we could work on other things that we're really passionate about in our life. And so that was the answer for us. But we had to ask ourselves that question first in order to get to the answer. And so this isn't a one size fits all. This isn't going to look the same for everybody. It's going to look very differently for everybody, right? But it's essentially at its core, it's about decluttering your life mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, all of those things that are coming in and that are taking up space in your life, that are holding you down or making you feel stressed or holding you back from the life you really want to live, or just doesn't feel good to you, and getting rid of all of those things so that you can have more space in your life to add the things that are really going to add value and that are really going to serve a purpose and to fill your life with happiness and passion and joy and all of those things that you truly want to be doing and living your life in a way that feels really good to you. And that's essentially what minimalism is all about at its core. It's not about the shit and the stuff. It's so much more than that. And it's about living a happy, intentional, simple life.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I noticed too, a lot of people say, that minimalism is about the things. But one thing that I've really loved is it's about adding value. And in my opinion, what is the most valuable thing that we have? It's time, right? Time is the most valuable thing that we have. And so if you are actually taking things of value in your life, not allowing you the time to do the things that you love, that you value, then technically minimalism will help you eliminate the things that are in the way of the things that you want to do, the different passions that you want to do. Kim and I used to hear it all the time. Because we eliminated so much in our lives, we were able to go explore our passions. And Kim and I used to be personal trainers. We thought that was like our thing. We realized that we have a passion for it, but we are not passionate about it, right? For fitness and health. So we explored it because we had time and we had, different avenues that we could explore because we've actually, kind of eliminated these things. But a lot of people said when we were actually coaching and helping with people, we were like, why aren't you, working out? They're like, oh, I don't have enough time. I would love to work out, but I don't have enough time. I would love to cook healthy, but I don't have enough time. I would love to spend more time with my kids, but I don't have enough time. And so a lot of people do this and they start clouding themselves with things that get in the way of the things they actually love doing. And so minimalism, again, is not just about the things. It's about eliminating the stuff in your life that's clouding you from having the time to do the things that you truly, truly love.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that I have noticed because it's just allowed me so much time to explore myself and grow and learn and find out the things that I love and eliminate the things that I don't and just really be aligned. And it's been a blessing, not only not having to pack up the car and rent a U-Haul and try to figure out where our stuff is, but just for myself, knowing that I can just flow into a contract and just know that I can be focused and my truest and most elevated self.
Totally. And you go to work and you come home and you have all of this extra space in your life. And, and if you think about it, it's the less stuff you have, the less clutter, the less noise, the less distractions, right? The less stresses you're going to have, the more time you're going to have to just do the things that you freaking want to do. And like, what a wild concept that our free time can be spent doing the things that we love. And of course we have responsibilities and we're always going to have responsibilities and things that we have to take care of, right? But it's having more space in your life to do the things that feel the best to you. And the more the space that you have in time to fill yourself up first, to do the things that make you happy, that bring you joy, that light you up, that make you feel passionate and inspired in your life, you are going to carry that fulfillment and that joy with you into every aspect of your life. So you're able to show up to your new contract, for your patients, your spouse, your friends, your coworkers, more energized, more ready to give, more ready to serve. You're able to give more of yourself because you've already given to yourself first. And it's impossible to truly give ourselves to anybody else, our kids, our friends, our family, our patients, anybody, if we're not taking the time to serve ourselves first. And so we give ourselves this beautiful gift of time and space to turn inward and do the things that bring us joy first. And so minimalism is kind of just this beautiful gift, and it's this kind of this cool circle, you know, and we wanted to have this different spin on it, and kind of, it is about stuff and decluttering your life physically, but it's also about so much more.
Well, it adds so much, and
it creates so much.
We didn't even know, you know, we had no idea that it did this. I mean, and again, we have to pack everything into a Camry when we leave.
Oh, right.
So basically, there's like this, we've realized that this life we had created was awesome and we loved it, but then practically, like officially, we have to pack everything into a Camry. So we have to really watch what we purchase.
Yeah.
And it keeps that restriction on us. And come to find out, absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely love it to know that we can just, I mean, I always joke around that we would make the best felons in the world.
Yeah.
Because we could be out of this apartment in like 2 hours.
Oh,
like,
totally.
Honestly.
Well, it's like we're moving to San Diego in 14 days. Or I have 13 work days left, so we still have 2 weekends. So less than 20 days, we're moving to San Diego, which we're really excited about. And we're like, oh, we got to pack. We're leaving soon. But we're like, wait, we really don't have that much stuff.
Well, not only that, if we packed it, we'd have to unpack it because everything we own, we use, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I could pack some jackets that I have. That's pretty much it.
And it's like people will come and pick up our furniture because we rent the furniture, and we have a box of kitchen stuff that we'll pack up and our suitcases, and then we'll just roll out of here. And it's so easy, and like we don't feel stressed every time we have to pack up and go and move. And it's like everything that we have truly adds a lot of value. And we were just saying, when we decide to move again in a couple weeks, it's a good time again to let's do another sweep through and say, do we really need this? Do we really need this? How can we condense even further? Because I wanted to add too, like when we first started traveling, we moved from a 4-bedroom house and we sold a bunch of shit. Like, don't get us wrong, we got rid of a lot of stuff. But when we first started traveling, we had so much.
So
we had hot pink tubs.
Hot pink tubs that filled my truck and Kim's car. And I actually brought like 8 extension cords, Christmas decorations, like a full Santa suit. Like I'm a Christmas like fanatic. Yeah. And so it was kind of crazy to see like the stuff that I had an entire toolbox of tools that I didn't even ever use or anything like that. Fishing poles, like.
God only knows.
I even brought like bean bags for like cornhole.
Oh yeah, you brought like a cornhole table.
Like I brought stuff that we honestly were like, why do we need this? It all sounded good, but to get from a 4-bedroom house down to a truck and a car, we were kind of like proud of what we did. I mean, Kim had one of those like 80-gallon tubs that have the things on them full of shoes.
Oh my God. It was insane. Like, we had so much stuff. It would take us like hours to move in because we'd be like lugging these bins. And then the bins also were our entertainment center, and they were our side tables in our bedroom, and they served great purpose. Mm-hmm. But I think the point is, like, it's baby steps. Like, to a lot of people, going in and getting rid of all of their stuff is like scary and feels overwhelming. And it's about baby steps and just kind of beginning the process. And at first we were a little bit even hesitant when we first started going through all of our stuff in our home and getting rid of stuff, and we're like, I don't know, should we let this go? But once we got into the momentum, it started to get easier and easier and feel better. And now again, because we love living free and it feels so good, it's way easier to get rid of stuff because we know the benefits of it. And we want to bring in less because we don't want to be bogged down. But it is a process. And a lot of people at the TravelCon asked us, like, how do you even begin something like that? You know, there was like a lot of kind of
that was the main question that we got. And then, you know, was there one thing that you ran into that you just couldn't let go of? And, you know, I actually had kind of a breakdown when our families came over because we had really nice stuff. Yeah. And so I could hear it like, that's mine, that's mine, that's mine, I'm taking this, I'm taking that. And it was just like this feeling of, oh my God, like I felt like vultures were circling us before we were even dead. Like, can we at least get out of the house first before you guys like start taking all of our stuff? But I realized, like, I went into the garage because I was, like, kind of freaking out. And Kim was like, hey, what's up with you? And, you know, she connected me back to why we were doing this. Like, this stuff has held us back from the things that we love. We bought all this stuff thinking it was going to be the magic potion that makes us happy. And what we realized was it didn't. And it didn't in such a way that it made us kind of hit our knees and be like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
And really evaluate what it is in life that we truly, truly, truly love and value. And so that's when we said we valued more or less the experience, the traveling, the freedom,
having more money to buy a freaking pizza if we want to.
Absolutely. And now we eat pizza all over the world. That's kind of our thing.
Yeah.
We actually joke about it, like, now that we've gone to Italy and New York and Chicago and we
try all the best pizza
Venice,
places.
or where we were Florence, Sicily. What's the
Venice?
Naples,
where like pizza originated from. And we made that kind of our mission because we're like, this was important to us. And for so long, we couldn't even buy a pizza because we couldn't afford it because our mortgage was so much and all of our bills were so much. And
then, this one always wanted to travel. So what did we do? We just did what everybody else did and got credit cards.
Yeah.
And then maxed those out in a matter of months because we would go and we did not even have paid leave. Because we're like, I only have 4 days off a month. Like, you can't tell me I can't leave. And so I would leave, and then we'd max our credit cards out. Now there's another bill, and it just kept coming and kept coming and kept coming and kept coming.
Downward spiral.
Absolutely.
And so, this was a whole process, and we can talk more about it and answer questions and stuff and really help other people on the process. But I think one of the biggest things that you can do is to just sit down and ask yourself that question. Is the life you're living currently how you really want to live? And take inventory of the things in your life, whether that be relationships, your job, your stuff, your things, anything in your life that you feel like isn't serving you and is holding you back, and get really freaking honest about it and begin to make some decisions of how you can begin to release those things so that you can step forward and step into a life that feels better to you and more free to you, because that's essentially what it's really about. So
and we can end it
with
our question.
Yeah, this is a good question.
So
another question, and then we'll look at the questions.
Yes, we are going to leave you with a question that maybe it kind of sinks in, and whatever time it hits you, or it doesn't at all. But this is a really good question that we asked, and it was really cool, and it kind of hits here, and so we will end it with this. It is, what are you willing to let go of in order to add more meaning into your life?
Ooh. Again, very simple question, but very meaningful. And also, I wanted to say that the Minimalist.com, we just discovered them. They're so freaking cool. They have books, they have all kinds of things. And they also have different exercises and things you can do on their website to help you kind of get into the process of decluttering your stuff. And they focus more on the physical stuff. But to actually start decluttering your stuff. And they're amazing. We discovered them, and I'm like so excited. I never knew they existed. So Minimalist.com is another great resource to check out.
Sarah said, I have found that walking or busing to stores forces me to prioritize what I'm going to buy because I have to carry that stuff home. And I don't mind, for instance, having less food, junk food especially, in the house means I eat less when I'm bored.
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
I always say if it's in the house, it's dangerous. You're going to eat it. So less is more. Less is more.
You're right, because you're walking in a store and you're like, ooh, like I need this or I need that. And then when you don't have a car, you're right. So that's a really good way to do that if it's something.
And never go to the store hungry.
Yeah, that's very true.
Because then you want everything.
That's true. Sarah said, hello from Seattle. Nice.
Oh, we lived there last summer for 6 months.
We did. And we're 2 hours north of there right now.
Seattle in the summer.
We'll be making this available on YouTube. Interesting.
We thought about it. I don't know.
I kind of felt like I bombed the beginning of this, so I'm kind of upset.
I
was on point at the travel conference.
He killed it.
Oh, dude, I was just
like, so bam, good, you guys.
Bam, but
and we had no notes. We had nothing, and we were so nervous, and we just kept coming back. We're supposed to have fun. This is supposed to be fun. Let's just get into our flow and speak from our hearts, and just have fun. Mm-hmm. And we did, and we killed it, and you were on fire.
This one I felt like I stumbled through a little bit. I kind of got lost in little areas.
I think we got the message out.
But yes, I I actually can put this on YouTube. So I will do that because I'm wanting to put a couple more videos on YouTube. I might redo it and do
Oh my God, you're not redoing it.
Anyway, and that's it.
That's it, yay! Well, we thank you guys for being with us live. I know it's a weird time, so we always appreciate you guys showing up. And for our replayers, we appreciate you guys. And this is something that we're super, super passionate about. This is a topic that we're passionate about because it's literally changed our lives. And so we'd love to hear from you guys if you have any questions, or if you are a minimalist, or are you a hoarder, or like what your situation is. Because I think it's an interesting topic, and it's a hot topic apparently, and we had no idea.
It is. It is. And that's where, the minimalists, they talk about, they're starting to get into more mindset stuff and stuff like that.
Yeah, they're awesome.
They're absolutely phenomenal. And so that's kind of, we love the whole mindset aspect and what it's created. And so that's kind of like where we go. Plus, we don't really have anything.
Yeah, we don't have any things anymore, but we used to. So, it's been quite a journey.
We do keep a box. And I know, actually, I'm sorry. I really wanted to keep this under an hour because this would be our first one. We'd be like, woo!
Yay!
But we do keep a box. This question's come up a lot about what you do about clothes and what we do about if we don't have many things. How do we manage for different weather types? What?
Huh?
What'd you do?
Weather types?
Well, weather conditions. But we do have a box at Kim's sister's house. It's like a bin there that has like our ski stuff in it, has very thick jackets. But what we did was I found out that, Under Armour, it's kind of expensive, but it's a one-time purchase. It is like thermal underwear, but it is so amazing and it's tight. Mm-hmm. And I was in Wisconsin in negative 22 degrees. I would wear that and a North Face jacket, jeans, and then some, what do they call it? Thermal underwear underneath. Yeah. And was perfectly fine, and all that stuff packs up very neatly and compresses very tightly. There's a lot of stuff out there now that is, you don't need bulky stuff. And so we have the North Face kind of...
Like the down, but it's really thin.
But it's thin. Yeah. And it keeps us so warm with like a beanie and a hoodie.
It packs up so light.
Piece of cake.
But I would say too, just for the things like the ski stuff that we don't use very often, like... have a little storage unit, or have stored at your mom or a family member's house or something, that things that are valuable that you find value in, but you don't necessarily want to get rid of, but you don't necessarily want to take with you. Leave a little box somewhere. I think we have like a bin or two at my sister's house of things that we will go back to at some point.
And you kind of know, you don't really have to worry about if it's hot. You know what I'm saying? You bring shorts and stuff like that. I think it's more or less, what do you do when it's cold? And that's basically what we do. We do have thicker stuff that we can go back to if we ever were going to Alaska or something like that. We would go back to Florida and grab all that stuff. And so, anyway.
Yeah, and Diane, I wanted to say, like, the stuff that we made a list, and we actually posted it in the file section of this group. And it's our list of the things that we take with us on every single contract, and what we've kind of whittled down over the years of things that we know every time we go somewhere, we're always going to need these things. And of course that will look different for everybody. And again, it's about what you value and what's important to you, right? Like, there's no right or wrong answer, but we made a list of the things that we take with us, and it's in the group. So check it out. It has everything.
What? I haven't posted that in the group.
I thought you did.
No.
Yes, you did.
No, I'm going to post it today.
Oh, we have the packet. We have a pamphlet for you guys.
Yes.
OMG. We created a pamphlet for the TravelCon, and it's online, and so it has questions. It has great resources to help you get rid of your stuff. It has a list of everything that we have. So we will put that link in these comments. Oh, I forgot about that. You did. Yeah, you did.
Well, I'm going to post the packet because the packet was really cool. We loved it.
That was awesome.
It was awesome. And what was crazy about this was we went all minimalist style on them.
Yeah.
They were like, print 200 of them. And we were like, no, because we didn't want to print 200. And we printed 50, and it went out. And then we were able to email other people if they needed it. So.
Yeah. So this is actually really cool. I totally forgot about that. There's some really great questions to help you get clear on things, and it's just great. Yeah, we love questions. But I feel like
it challenges your mind.
It makes you think. It like turns you inward and allows you to have this internal conversation, and that's where the truth and the answers are. And so I think it's a really cool thing. What?
Nothing. I'm just joking with you. But anyway.
So we will post that in the comments below. And if you guys have any other questions, we'll be in the group as always. And next week, like I said, we're going to do a training on interviewing. So we'll post a thread. You can answer the questions. We've got a lot of great tips and stuff to share about that.
And we might actually do some role play to see Kim's acting skills.
No!
Like, hello?
Oh my gosh. You know, I get nervous on this
Hello?
Hi.
That's what you do?
That's the voice you want to have on.
No, it's not. Hi. You want your lowest register.
I know.
Hi, I'm 12.
Oh my gosh, I don't actually talk like that.
No, you don't.
But yeah, it should be interesting, but there's a lot of good tips, and I'll just say that we nail every interview, and usually if we interview, we get the job. So we know a thing or two about interviewing, so we will share what we know with you guys next week.
Yes.
I think that's it.
I
think it's a wrap. I'm going to eat lunch, and then I got to get my booty to work again.
It's under an hour. I'm so proud.
First talk, but you know, we have a lot of valuable stuff to share. So I think it's not necessarily about the time, but we do honor your time as well. So we try to make it as valuable as we possibly can.
That's right.
That we're adding value.
See? Adding value, but not wasting time.
Totally.
Minimalist to you.
And now we have to squeeze in lunch, and then I'm off to work.
Yes.
And that's a wrap for the day, my friends. We will see you guys in the group. That's a wrap. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday.
Yes. And hi to all of our new people. We love you. Thank you for coming in. And that's it.
That's a wrap.
Yeah. Are we done?
Are we done?
High five. Deuces.
Bye, guys.